My first question is, what is expected out of an AP student?
AP students, first of all, really have to manage their time well because there is a lot of reading that is done in class, but the majority of the reading is done at home. So AP students really have to make sure they set up a schedule and they really balance out how much reading and studying time is needed per day. On an average, it can vary. I would say you'd need at least 45 minutes to an hour on a light day, and maybe a little bit more if you have more to read or if you have a project due, or if you have vocabulary. It just kind of depends on what it is, but it is a commitment that students need to expect will take them, a good chunk of their time at home.
What are the general time frames that students should be working on their art pieces?
Since AP students need to create so much art during the year, they will be expected to do some work over the summer, best AP homework ever, in order to have enough time to create the work throughout the year. They will be making art both in the classroom and at home, and we have studio Saturdays where students come and work in the studio.
How much time and effort do you think needs to be put into AP studio art?
I think a good amount of time because you can't rush your drawings. A good 3 hours on the weekend, and maybe a couple hours during the week, maybe like an hour or two.
What are some challenges in the AP studio art class?
I think finishing my drawings on time because I procrastinate a lot. It's honestly a great experience because you'd like come up with things that you wouldn't expect yourself to come up with. Like most of your drawings, you didn't expect to draw them ever in your life, but with art, it gives you a chance to express yourself in a different way.
Hi, I'm here with.
Diego Jimenez.
Did you ever feel discouraged from taking an AP class from what you were hearing from other students?
I think definitely before I went into high school, when I was an 8th grader, I went to people who are already in high school, maybe even Godinez, and I was talking to them about the AP classes they took and their experiences, and a lot of them gave me negative results, saying, oh, it was a lot of homework, you don't want this teacher, you don't want to take that class, and I definitely felt a little bit discouraged.
How much effort do you think it needs to be put in an AP class?
The effort that needs to be put into an AP class, I'm not quite sure how to measure it, but it's definitely more than a general education class. For example, if you spend maybe half an hour on homework on a general class, you might spend an hour or two, an hour and a half in an AP class.
How much time in average do you spend doing your homework and also counting on studying?
Usually three and a half hours is my average time I spend doing homework.
How do you counterbalance that with your studies and also your personal life?
There's really not a lot of time for me, so I really just devote my time to my studies, and I did sports. I'm in a bunch of extracurriculars, so really I have a lot of my time is devoted to school.
What's the most difficult obstacle you had to face in your AP classes?
The amount of homework on average per night is very, what's the word? I struggled a lot with the homework on average. The homework wasn't necessarily hard, but it was a long amount of homework that took a long duration of time every day.
What are some challenges that students over-exaggerate?
Sometimes students after the second or third week decide to come in here and be like, this class is too difficult, they have too much homework to do, or that the test and they can't balance their classes. So sometimes they want to drop the class because they feel like they don't have enough time to do all the work that is required.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank Godinez.